54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or
Man,
is it
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta have never been close, but things boiled over last month when the two boxing champions clashed on social media. The argument started with comments about the respected Ring Magazine awards, but quickly turned much more personal. Both are at the top of their divisions, but their pots probably won't cross in the ring because of the size difference. Still, they haven't stopped taking shots at each other online. Crawford's dislike for Tank goes beyond just one social media argument. He's been holding back his thoughts for a long time and is now letting them all out.
What champ? Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. All right, I'll welcome him.
Davis, known for his aggressive style and short temper, wasn't about to let Crawford's comments go unanswered. He's currently preparing to defend his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach on March 1st. Despite being focused on his upcoming fight, Davis always seems ready for a verbal battle. Crawford, on the other hand, is getting ready for his highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez, a fight that could secure Crawford's legacy if he wins. Even with his focus on Canelo, Crawford didn't hesitate to take a shot at Davis when the chance came up.
It'd be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him to come and touch it.
Wow, man. Vontae said you got a glass.
In a recent interview on Cigar Talk, Terence Crawford gave a very blunt opinion of Davis. The topic came up when the interviewer mentioned Davis's habit of only moving up weight classes when he can choose his opponents. When asked if the social media argument was just two competitive champions clashing, Crawford made it clear that it was personal. Nah man, I just really don't like that dude. Crawford said, I don't like him. I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him. Crawford's tone showed that there was no room for misunderstanding. He wasn't trying to downplay his feelings or offer any diplomatic answers.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, I tap that chin, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't
is.
got no chin.
I already know he is.
You said no chin.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round 6.
Crawford continued by calling Davis an arrogant little guy who hides behind his fame and money. He's got a lot of security guards around him, and he knows he's in the spotlight. Crawford explained, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that. The sharp comment suggested that Davis wouldn't have the same confidence if he didn't have an entourage constantly protecting him. Crawford seemed to be accusing Davis of using his public image as a shield, offering a harsh critique of the persona Davis has built over time.
What he got to shield him. Like, he got a lot of security guards around him, and he know, he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but
despite his dislike for Davis's personality, Crawford didn't deny his talent. He's a good fighter. I respect him as a fighter, Crawford admitted. He definitely got skills, power, and tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, nah. The compliment about Davis's boxing skills seemed almost forced. Crawford acknowledged it, but it didn't change his overall harsh opinion. Naturally, Davis didn't stay quiet in response. He fired back, saying he's talking like he's the best in the sport and he's still out here, begging for a big payday against Canelo. This jab suggested that Crawford is chasing the Canelo fight for money and validation. Davis's comment played into the common boxing narrative that even great fighters need a big opponent like Canelo to solidify their legacies. The bad blood between Crawford and Davis didn't end there, though. Another factor stirring things up is Shakur Stevenson. The 27-year-old rising star is being talked about as a potential future opponent for Davis. The two haven't fought yet, but anticipation for their matchup is already growing. Crawford, who has a close relationship with Stevenson, made it clear that he fully supports him.
Shakur, like I was telling Bud, it's either you or Keyshawn's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in, so awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense, he's closer.
Big brother learn.
Absolutely.
We're going to take his personality and personal things out of it. Crawford said when discussing Davis, boxing-wise, he's definitely talented, he's got that and he's respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. Shakur is different. That's high praise from Crawford, who's not known for handing out compliments easily. He went on to explain why he believes Stevenson would beat Davis. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd because they're defensive fighters, Crawford said, comparing Stevenson's style to Floyd Mayweather's. It's a comparison that speaks volumes. Given Mayweather's nearly perfect career and his mastery of defensive boxing, Crawford believes that Stevenson's defensive skills would be the key to neutralizing Davis's power.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. So I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else, and he knows that. Crawford said confidently, "It's a bold prediction, especially considering Davis's reputation as one of the most dangerous knockout artists in boxing. Davis relies on overwhelming his opponents with explosive power, but Crawford seems sure that Stevenson's technical brilliance would frustrate him in the ring. Crawford's loyalty to Stevenson only adds more tension to his feud with Davis. It's not just about boxing, it's about pride, loyalty, and proving a point. Davis, for his part, will likely view Crawford's comments as yet another challenge to his dominance if Davis and Stevenson eventually face off. The build-up to that fight is sure to be as intense as anything in recent boxing history."
Him and Tank, when I see and I go read like little stuff about it, they really be debating. It don't be like, oh, Tank is gonna destroy this guy and everybody is saying it. No, that shit be like real debates, like, no, this Shakur, this, that. And then not only that, now you see Shakur moving up in weight, he's filling out, he's dropping this dude.
The rivalry between Crawford and Davis is a mix of personal dislike and professional competition. Crawford's accusations of arrogance and bravado go beyond typical trash talk. He seems truly disgusted by Davis's personality and how he presents himself. Davis, on the other hand, has no issue firing back with sharp remarks, portraying Crawford as someone desperate for recognition. It's unlikely this war of words will end anytime soon. Both men are too proud and competitive to back down. Davis is focused on his upcoming title defense, but he's probably keeping a close eye on Crawford's comments. Crawford, even with the Canelo fight ahead, doesn't seem ready to let this beef go.
Has there been any talks with Tank's team?
They reached out, but we told them to come back with an offer. And as far as that, we ain't heard nothing since then. Me and him fighting each other, we'll seal the deal on the kings of that division.
Whether Davis and Crawford ever find themselves in the same room again is still uncertain. But one thing is clear, this rivalry has already created plenty of drama, and the boxing world will be watching closely to see what happens next. However, it's ironic that Gervonta Tank Davis accused Terence Crawford of chasing money with the Canelo fight when Davis himself is eyeing a big payday from Saudi Arabia to fight Devin Haney. Tank's recent comments about fighting in Saudi Arabia show he's not just interested in boxing, but also in luxury and status, saying he wants to, 3, or for Ferraris. While Crawford's move to fight Canelo in Riyadh is seen as a legacy-defining challenge, Davis's approach seems more like a negotiation for his own fantasy shopping spree. Davis's willingness to negotiate with Turki Al-Sheikh, the man responsible for bringing mega fights to Saudi Arabia, is already causing controversy. During a chat on a Safe Plays podcast, Davis made his demands clear. They said I would fight Devin, and then they said Devin was their chosen one. Davis explained, so now they have to pay me extra because I already know what I'm going for. His implication was loud and clear if Haney is being treated as the favored fighter of Saudi boxing. Davis isn't going into the ring without securing a big payout first.
See, obviously you and Tank, and that's something that I feel like has built up for years.
Yeah, I mean, the fight has been built up for years, and at the end of the day, if he could want the fight, he could have the fight because he's the WB fake champion. He's not the, he has the Mickey Mouse belt. So if he...
Davis's comments also hinted at his distrust of how boxing decisions are made when big money and big names are involved. He practically accused Saudi organizers of stacking the deck in Haney's favor, saying, if I don't knock him out, you're going to give the fight to him. That wasn't just a jab at Haney. It was a swipe at the entire system. It's rare for a fighter to speak this openly about concerns over biased judging, especially when huge paychecks are on the line. What makes this even more ironic is Davis's previous stance just a while ago. He seemed uninterested in joining the wave of fighters cashing in on the Saudi boxing boom.
Somebody asked Lomachenko. No. Right.
Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that? Oh, Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. I need 3 now. Yeah.
Tank is singing a different tune now, and his shift in attitude is almost comical. One minute he's criticizing Crawford's decision to fight in Riyadh, and the next he's listing off luxury car demands and positioning himself for his own trip to the desert. Turkey Alalshik's strategy of pouring huge sums into boxing has already attracted some of the sport's biggest names. Fury and Usyk's to fight series gave them record paydays, and Canelo's deal is reportedly enough to make anyone rethink their boxing future. Davis clearly sees the dollar signs, but he's framing his interest as more about demanding respect than just chasing money. Still, the line between earning respect and cashing in is quickly blurring. In this case, throwing Devin Haney's name into the mix only adds more fuel to the fire.
If not, y'all gonna give it to him. So that's what made me like, oh yeah, I see what's going on. So now, give me 2 or 4 or 3 Ferraris. If not, ain't no point in me going over there for. Y'all got the money.
Haney and Davis have been circling each other for years, with fans and analysts eagerly waiting for the day they finally face off in the ring. But Tank's comments suggest that the fight wouldn't just be between him and Haney, it would be him against the entire Saudi boxing system. His criticisms of how fights are managed in Saudi Arabia seem like both a negotiation tactic and a warning. He wants everyone to know that if the fight takes place, he's stepping into hostile territory, with his eyes wide open.
Turkey Alalshik mapped out Shakur's next 3 fights, and the third one is Gervonta Davis. He must be sending not the 3 Ferraris that your boy wanted. He probably gonna send him a couple Ferrari mechanics so they can build him his own Ferrari factory.
He was being sarcastic, like he said, because, Turkey was already with Devin. He was making it seem like he was fucking.
Despite his bold talk and tough stance, Davis did give a bit of credit to Turkey Alalshik. "I'm thankful for the money he's invested," Davis remarked. However, this compliment came with a condition. He suggested that organizers need to be more knowledgeable about the sport to ensure fair matchups. This comment is likely to spark more controversy in a sport where money often plays a significant role in decisions. Davis is essentially asking for more transparency while also pushing for a payday big enough to buy a fleet of Ferraris.
I definitely don't want to be someone like Devin, you know what I mean? Talk all that trash and then overlook my opponent and then get knocked out.
Tank, Martin was really confident in this press conference today that not only is he going to secure a win, but that he's going to get a knockout. How much of that do you think is false confidence?
Then there's the question of whether Davis truly believes Haney is the favorite in the eyes of Saudi organizers by calling Haney their chosen one. Davis may be setting the stage to discredit any potential loss before the fight even happens. It's a classic boxing tactic undermining the legitimacy of your opponent's support system so that, win or lose, you come out looking like the hero. But it's also a risky move. If Davis ends up facing Haney in Saudi Arabia and doesn't land the knockout he's predicting, his words could come back to bite him. The boxing world has always been a place for dramatic moments, but Davis's latest remarks elevate the spectacle to a new level. He's not just negotiating for a fight, he's negotiating for his own narrative.
And I'm still a casual fast. I'm being real. So hold on.
Yeah.
When you look at like Devin Haney's situation when he went to go sue Ryan Garcia,
Yeah,
like is that do you
Yeah, bitch.
Okay, cool. So okay.
Crawford didn't hold back when discussing Gervonta Davis's chances against Shakur Stevenson or Keyshawn Davis. He boldly stated that Tank would suffer his first loss if he faced either of them. That's a strong claim, especially given Tank's undefeated record and knockout power. But Crawford isn't just talking without reason. He's been in the ring and has seen Keyshawn destroy Dennis Barrick firsthand. For Crawford, Tank's knockout power won't be enough against fighters as mentally tough and strategically skilled as Shakur.
I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fighter that you talking about, boy. Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
Keyshawn Davis sounded equally confident, even comparing a potential fight with Tank to the brutal beatdown Crawford delivered to Errol Spence Jr. last year. That's not just confidence, it's a declaration of war. Keyshawn sees himself as smarter and sharper both inside and outside the ring, claiming that Gervonta only has his one-punch knockout power to depend on. Keyshawn is convinced he's already a better fighter than what the world has seen from him so far. That kind of Talk puts real pressure on Gervonta to prove Keyshawn wrong.
Is Keyshawn the one that can crack their Gervonta code?
Gervonta can be beat easily, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, we hear you say he could be beat easily. Why?
Yeah, he could be beat easily because he's just a basic type of dude with a lot of power. If you know boxing like I know boxing, you can take away that power from you and shit. You know what I'm saying, young fella?
Then there's Shakur Stevenson, who's been chasing Tank for what feels like forever. He's fed up, and the way he talks, it's clear he doesn't think Tank ever intends to step into the ring with him. Shakur doesn't hold back, calling Tank a weird human being and saying he doesn't respect him. If that's not fuel for a future showdown, what is? He also pointed out that Turki Alalshik could easily bankroll the fight, essentially daring Tank to take the deal, the balls. Now in Tank's court, and Shakur knows it.
I thought he was a tremendous talent. I still think he is, and I think he'll beat any lightweight with the possible exception of Keyshawn Davis.
That's a fight we probably will never see, huh?
Neither guy wants to fight.
But Gervonta's next test is Lamont Roach on March 1st in Brooklyn. Everyone's watching to see how he performs because that fight could set the tone for what comes next. If Tank steamrolls Roach, the pressure will mount for him to finally take on one of the division's champions, and let's not forget that Vasyl Lomachenko is back in the mix. Dance team approached Loma last year, but he was taking a break from boxing at the time now. That L's back, it's looking like he could be Dance's next target. That fight alone would be a blockbuster event given L's slick skills and reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters when he's at his peak.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9th?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at night.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a night? You know that power occurred late.
However, there's another layer to all this. Tank's hunger for big paydays. He openly talked about negotiating with Turki Alalshik to fight in Saudi Arabia, demanding at least for Ferraris before even considering a deal. While some might chalk that up to Tank just being Tank, others see it as a sign of how the game is shifting. Saudi Arabia's deep pockets are changing the power dynamics in boxing, and Tank knows it. He's playing hardball, but with so much money on the table, who's to say Turki won't meet his demands? The irony in all of this is hard to ignore. Just a little while ago, Tank threw shade at Terence Crawford, claiming Crawford was chasing money. Yet here he is, publicly holding out for luxury cars and mega purses. It's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black.
Age, I think he was like 17. I wasn't that much older than him. I think we probably like 3 years older. Apart. But I feel as though he slowed down. All that partying and drinking and stuff slowed him down.
The difference, however, is that Crawford has already proven himself at the highest level, taking down Spence to become the undisputed welterweight champ. Gervonta, for all his knockouts and pay-per-view fame, hasn't unified the lightweight division yet. Fans are starting to demand more than just talk and one-punch finishes. They want legacy fights. Keyshawn Davis' comments about Tank's opponents hit a nerve too. He pointed out that Tank's been fighting guys who aren't mentally strong enough to last 12 rounds with him. That's a tough critique, and whether it's fair or not, it's bound to stick until Tank proves otherwise. Facing guys like Shakur, Keyshawn, or even Loma would silence a lot of doubters. These are fighters with elite skills, ring IQ, and the mental toughness to handle whatever Tank throws their way. Shakur's frustrations are understandable. He's one of the brightest young stars in boxing and has been calling out Tank for years with no response. He made it clear that he doesn't have the financial muscle to send Tank an offer, but Turki Alalshik does, by putting the responsibility on Tank to accept a fight in Saudi Arabia. Shakur is essentially forcing him to make a choice, either step up or keep dodging.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them.
And if Tank continues to avoid him, the whispers about Gervonta ducking tough fights will only grow louder. One thing's for sure, this lightweight division is heating up, and the next few months could define Gervonta's career. He's got a massive spotlight on him heading into the Lamont Roach fight, and how he handles that pressure will be critical. Win in dominant fashion, and he sets the stage for something huge. Struggle or show any signs of vulnerability, and guys like Shakur and Keyshawn will be lining up to call him out even more. The pressure isn't just coming from the fighters either. Fans are tired of waiting for these big fights to happen. They want unification bouts, and they want them now. With Saudi Arabia throwing around life-changing money, there's no excuse for these matchups not to happen. Whether Gervonta is willing to risk his undefeated record for the kind of legacy that Crawford, Fury, or Usyk are building remains to be seen. What's clear is that time is running out for him to make his move. But for now, we wait for the Lamont Roach fight. What do you think? Is there truth in what Crawford thinks about Tank's personality? And resume. Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.